What's up, pet parents? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Caitlin, and I love sharing enrichment ideas, product reviews, and canine fitness content here on YouTube. So if any of that sounds really fun to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I share awesome content like that every single week, and I think you're really gonna like it. So let's go back to enrichment for a second, right? So I have this awesome enrichment ideas playlist on my channel. I have a ton of ideas on my blog because I started that, before my YouTube channel. And I realized I don't have like a video on here just explaining what enrichment is. I was like, how do I not have that? Like, me of all people, how do I not do that? Because in a lot of my videos, I'll explain like, oh, this helps with this or this does this, but I've never actually done a walkthrough on the different kinds of enrichment. So that way you can like take this information and go home and be like, oh, my dog loves when they do this. I could be doing this, this, and this for them. Or like, oh, my dog loves to do this. Here's 5 other things similar that I think they'll love too. And you can take this information and just have a lot of fun with your dog. So we're gonna dive into it. There's 5 different types of enrichment that your dog can be doing. But first I wanna ask you guys a quick question because this also will help you know if your dog needs enrichment. So first, do you have a high energy dog? Or a dog that's constantly hyper? Do you have a dog that gets bored easily? Like you give them an activity, they either do it in a couple seconds and they're like, next, thank you, next, Ariana. Third, do you have a dog that's constantly getting into things, whether it's your own items like shoes, clothing, socks, or whatever, furniture, or certain things that you had no idea that you left out and they found it because they had nothing else to do but go look for trouble. If you answered yes to any of those, your dog needs enrichment. But trick question, all dogs need it, even if you said no, because I guarantee you there's someone on here who's probably like, oh, my dog's like a Mastiff mix and they love to just sleep all the time. No, I have a Mastiff mix and he loves doing this too. So it's a trick question. All dogs need it, and it's really fun to watch dogs of all sizes, ages, breeds, no matter what, have fun with enrichment because all dogs love it and all dogs enjoy it. You just have to find what's good for them and what they enjoy. So there are 5 different types of enrichment, right? So we're gonna start with the first one, and then we're gonna go into examples of each one. So the first one is social enrichment. So it probably sounds pretty obvious, right? Social, interacting, people, dogs, whatever. Social enrichment is really beneficial for kind of the things that probably immediately come to your mind, like meeting people, meeting other dogs, being, able to interact with them and not freak out or stuff like that. Like it is for that. But something that social also is for is not just people and dogs, it's things like objects or environments. Like if you think about it, when you take your dog to do all these different things, it's kind of building their confidence, right? It's letting them go out there and see these new environments, touch these different surfaces, interact with different people. So that way they can kind of start to understand like, oh, I like this type of person. This person, I get this good feel from my mom from this person. Or, oh man, this dog's so much fun. That's my guy. That's my best friend. We're gonna go play at the lake later. Like, you know what I mean? It's really good for that. And when they're able to like touch different surfaces that they don't have at home, like different objects, like you go on a trail and there's like this big rock, let them sniff it. Letting them kind of see like, oh, this isn't scary or this is kind of cool. It's getting them to build their confidence and kind of build that like Rolodex of like places they've been to. So that way, whenever they go somewhere new, they're like, oh, this is like this. Or, oh, I've already done this before. This will be nothing. It's a really cool thing to do, especially if you think about it. You ever take your dog to like a pet store or something like that, and then the drive home, they're exhausted because they're like, man, that was so much fun. That's what it's for. It's a great activity you can do with your dog. And that's a simple example right there, whether you're just taking them to the pet store or on a trail, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that are just easy things you can do that could potentially just ride up the road from you, and it's a great time. So that is the type of enrichment number 1. The second one is probably one of my favorites that I talk about all the time. It is nutritional just because it's so much fun and I would rather make fun treats and things for my dogs than myself. Put me in the kitchen for my dogs, done. Put me in the kitchen for myself, ugh. I just hate it. So there's obviously a couple different types of nutritional enrichment, and some are kind of the common ones we all think of, right? Puzzles, foraging mats, lick mats, and those are some of my favorites. So what I thought I'd do is show you examples of kind of each one and explain like kind of the benefits of them as well. So this is the first one. This is puzzles. This one in particular is from a brand that I have like a ton of. It's Nina Autosson by Outward Hound. And she's really cool. I've actually met her a couple times. She's from Sweden and she designs really awesome toys, and she partners with Outward Hound to make all of her puzzles. So you can get them on Amazon, you can get them wherever. I'll link this one specifically below. That way you can just go check out the entire collection from there, essentially. So how puzzles work is they usually come in different levels, right? So that way, no matter where your dog is, they can start at the beginner level just to kind of introduce themselves to it. And then as they start to figure puzzles out, they can do more challenging levels where, say, there's more levers they have to pull to get something, or they have to use their snoot to push something, and then it opens up a different way. You know what I mean? They come in different levels, and I think that's really helpful because no matter what kind of dog you have, I always recommend trying like a beginner level puzzle just to see where they're at. You can do this to not only provide enrichment for them, but if you have a dog that eats really fast, fun fact, it's a great slow feeder, like an awesome slow feeder. Especially, I love to put like multiple puzzles together and I let them solve like a bunch of them. And it's like, I call it my like puzzle palooza. And it's a really great way to give your dog a fun activity that's not only tiring them out. There's my cat. Colonel, you are in other videos on this channel. This is my cat, Colonel Mustard, which, by the way, if you're a multi-pet home like I am, check out my cat content on here too. I share it from time to time as well. And he's one of the rock stars in my video. I'm going to put him back down though. Oh, no. He's like, no, I want to be in the video. He actually does like being on camera a lot. Sorry, buddy, not this one. So back to puzzles. So that's one thing I'll do is I'll put a bunch of them out. But what's also really cool about puzzles is that, fun fact, 15 minutes of doing puzzles for your dog equals 30 minutes of physical exercise. So if you give your dog a puzzle and they're trying to figure it out and they're using their nose and they're moving all around, like that's tiring out your dog too. So this is a great way. Like I said, it doubles as a slow feeder, but I love to replace my dog's bowl throughout the week with any of these nutritional ideas we're going to go through, whether it is puzzles or the next one I'm going to share. This is probably my all-time favorite thing. It's my dog's favorite thing. I kind of want to guess, at least I think it is. This is called a snuffle mat, or you may have seen a foraging mat as the title. Search it in Google either way. This is going to come up. This is actually my DIY snuffle mat. I have a great tutorial on here. It's one of my most liked and watched videos. Check it out. I will link it below. I'll do a card here as well so you can go ahead and immediately like find it. But this is so easy. You're literally using fleece fabric, and a sink mat, like a plastic sink mat. That way it's washable. I mean, do dog owners really, do we do anything that's not washable nowadays? No, we don't. Because I got a drooler and I've also just got one that she just loves food. So I got two droolers. I don't know what I'm trying to say. One of them just drools more than the other because he's got Mastiff in him. So obviously it just drips. He's got his own drip. I just wish it was cool gold chains. No, it's drool. So this is a fantastic enrichment idea. And how this works is you actually hide your dog's food in the mat, and your dog then uses their nose and their natural instincts to forage and find their food out of the mat. This one is fantastic for tiring out your dog. And the reason why I'm showing you my DIY version, yes, you can get one on Amazon, 100%. If you want to save time, go ahead and do that. In my opinion, this version, like my DIY, is going to last way longer. Just because I've got a lot of the store-bought ones from Amazon and they just fall apart really easily. They really do. Now, not to say that I don't still have like a couple of them. I'll just use them for different things. Like they're not going to be like the main feature like this one. But maybe I'll throw them as like additions in like my busy box and stuff like that, which you'll see that idea on the playlist. Go check it out after this. Keep going. But this version just lasts a lot longer. And this is a really fun activity. You can do, I have a bigger sink mat in here because I have larger breed dogs. So I can fit, I have done like, because Diesel usually gets, I think like 2 cups for his dinner, like, and breakfast. So I can fit like a whole 2 cups of large breed kibble in here and probably still have room for more, if that gives you a good indication of like how much you can actually like stuff in this. So this is a great activity. Those are 2 ideas. And then the third one of the things that I feel like I'm really known for on my enrichment channel, enrichment content in general, are my Lickimat ideas. So this is a Lickimat. There are tons of different kinds of Lickimats, by the way. This is the original brand that I am super in love with. I've used them for years. This is Lickimat. It's right there. And Lickimat is really cool because they actually have different types of Lickimats with different surfaces and different materials to kind of, depending on like your dog's like, but to basically depend on the type that you need for the strength of your dog. I was like, how do I say this? Like, I was just struggling with words for whatever reason. So for instance, this one here, this is the Lickimat Buddy. And you'll see this has like little triangle or little crosses kind of throughout and stuff like this. This is one of the surfaces they have. They also have one that's called like the Lickimat Soother. It's got little soft little bumps. so that way they can just like lick over. And basically what these do is Lickimats are designed to reduce stress and anxiety in your dog. So how that happens is your dog, if you've ever seen them lick, that is usually a sign of them being a little stressed out. Now, granted, they could have also gotten something on themselves. You know what I mean? But like many times, if they're licking, it's because they're stressed. Sometimes it can also be from soreness, from hurting themselves. But that's a different topic. That relates more to my canine fitness category. But them being able to easily lick on something like this, it's a great way for them to get that out, essentially. So there's different surfaces. There's some that are called, they have like a tough series. It's got a harder base. It's a little bit more durable than this, but I know a lot of people on here might be like, oh, my dog definitely needs that. They destroy everything. You'd be surprised. Annie's kind of my one, or Diesel's my one that kind of destroys everything. He's the most gentle Lickimat connoisseur in the entire world. Annie, who doesn't destroy her toys ever, she goes hard on Lickimats. So I share that because I can't tell you how many times I've put an enrichment idea out there and someone's always like, well, my dog would destroy that. Or my dog would eat that. Well, one, you can't leave them unsupervised. That's also a pro tip for all of this. Never leave your dog unsupervised. But two, you really might be surprised. Because especially if you're using any of my recipes where you're freezing them, your dog is... they can't just like eat it if it's frozen. That's not gonna feel good on their teeth. You know what I mean? Like just stuff like that. So Lickimats are one of my favorites. I am known for some of my really creative recipes. I share a ton of easy ideas here on my channel too, whether you want like single ingredients or stuff like that. But then I also share some really kind of fun creations. Like I've done like a St. Patrick's Day hat for, like a leprechaun hat. I've done stuff like that on my channel. I've got fun ideas, whether it's like a bikini. I've done Santa Claus face. Like I've done so many different things that are really fun. So depending on how creative and artistic you want to be, definitely, check out both places, my blog and my YouTube. I've got fun ideas because I grew up in a very artistic household. My mom does stained glass windows. And so we were constantly drawing and doing things. And so this is kind of a fun little outlet to not only make a healthy treat for my dog using good vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, but it's just fun to make a little design. So that is what a Lickimat is. And also too, what I'll do if you're interested in Lickimats, I'll also link, I have a free mini Lickimat cookbook. I've got like fun, I think it's like 5 recipes in there, or 4 or 5, something like that. You can grab that below too. It's completely free. And it's got some fun ideas in there too. So you can also kind of learn about Lickimats and understand them and then just start making some recipes. So definitely check that out. So that is enrichment type number 2. So the third one is now occupational. So this is dog training, sports, or having a job. So now this will depend on what your dog does or why you got them. So for instance, I will go to like a border collie or maybe a shepherd or a Malinois or an Aussie, you name it, a Labrador, whether your dog is a service dog, whether they are working for the police force, whether they are herding, there's a lot of dogs. I mean, all dogs were bred with a job in mind. I mean, right? Like when I grew up, my family used to breed Labradors. Labradors are hunting. They do hunting. They're water dogs. They're retrieving. They go out. They'll retrieve ducks. They'll do a lot of different things. German Shepherds, Malinois, you see them a lot in police force training. You see them a lot in special forces. Aussies, border collies, corgis. You see them a lot in herding instincts. That's what they were bred for. So a lot of dogs love to have a job. Now, keep in mind, not all dogs have those types of serious jobs, I would say. But to fulfill that need, having dog training or activities would be huge for them. So for instance, I also kind of put in, this kind of falls in a few different areas, but I like to throw in dog sports in here just because I kind of lump that into a type of dog training in a sense, you know what I mean? So like my girl Annie, she's kind of like an occupational type dog. Like she has one heck of a nose. We can do so many things, but like when we go and do barn hunt, when we do agility, when we do obedience training, which she loves having her brain worked. Like she's always just like whenever I finish doing like her stuff and I switch to do Diesel, she's always like, once he finishes, she like runs back in there. She's like, round two. And I'm like, oh, you got more? And she's like, duh. So a lot of dogs love to do stuff like that and really kind of work and figure things out. Now, some simple ways that you can do that. You don't have to do anything that extreme necessarily. It can be as easy as doing just easy obedience stuff at home, or do trick training. Dogs love to learn new things. And the whole phrase, like, you can't teach an old dog a new trick. Yes, you can. My dog Diesel turns 9 this year, the year this is, coming out. And he learns new stuff all the time, and he absolutely loves it. So this is an easy, fun thing you can do with your dog. And it makes a lot of impact. It not only creates that closer bond with your dog, but it's so fun. Like, I personally love when I can see my dog learning something and you just see everything just clicking, right? Like, there's so many things that I've done with Annie, for instance, where like I did it multiple times and I was like, I don't know if she's gonna get this. And then the one day that light bulb hits, you're like, this is why we do it. And it's so cool. And I know I'm a nerd about it, and I know not everyone's gonna get as excited about it as I do, but it's really fun when you can really see that light bulb moment in your dog and just see them have a lot of fun. So that is enrichment type number 3. Now, enrichment type number 4 is sensory. And this one is really kind of easy. This is a great example of this, is like just watching the environment. If you've ever taken your dog to the park or a trail and you just kind of sit with them and let them just kind of take in all of their surroundings, dogs love that. If you have a house and you have a backyard, or if you take your dog to places and the dogs that just roll around on their back in the grass, or they're rolling in the leaves and stuff like that, and they absolutely love it. My neighbor's dog, Ivy, does it all the time. My mom's dog, Remy, loves to do it. If your dog loves just sunbathing outside or on the porch or something, that's sensory enrichment right there. It's as easy as that. Sometimes you don't even have to do a lot with that. It's that easy. Or it does go back to that kind of, taking them to a trail, taking them to a sniff spot. You know what I mean? Like going to places like that. It's so great for them to just take in their environment. I also like to lump going to Lowe's or dog approved places to visit, stuff like that. If that list ever, updates, always check the place before you go. But like, I love taking my dog to Lowe's. I love walking him through the garden center. I love walking him inside. To me, that's not only putting them into a new environment, but it's really good confidence building as well. Like, I did that with Annie before we got married in March. I've taken my dogs a lot of places, but when we were getting really prepped for the wedding, I kind of had to pause that for a little bit because I was busy. And for like the couple weeks leading up to the wedding, like 3 to 4 times a week, I took my dogs to new places or places they hadn't been in a little bit. We went to Lowe's, Home Depot, TJ Maxx, Petco, PetSmart, like Pet Supermarket. We went everywhere because I was like, this is only going to benefit them to go to show that there's like a great consistent routine going to new places. And by the time, because they were in our wedding, by the time they got to the wedding, it was easy peasy. I remember Annie was just like taking a nap on the couch in the bridal suite. Like, this is great. It was nice. And we would not have been able to do that if we didn't like let her be exposed to different environments, which, I mean, sensory and social kind of tied together. So it's really great. A lot of these enrichment categories, you'll see that they do kind of intertwine and overlap, just to create a great experience for your dog. So that is enrichment type number 4. And the last one, which is probably one of my favorites, is physical. Now, of course, the easiest way you can do this, taking your dog on a walk, playing fetch in the backyard. If you like to go on runs and you're getting a dog to be your running partner, like a German Shorthair Pointer, Labrador, something like that. You know what I mean? Like that is a great example of physical enrichment. But if y'all heard my intro in this video, my favorite is canine fitness. And the way that I like to explain this, because I think someone's going to hear that and be like, oh, canine fitness, like it sounds intense, right? It's not. Because think about it. I had someone comment on one of my Instagram videos once, and they were like, I shared a video about like how it's a myth that canine fitness isn't just for sport dogs. It's for all dogs, because it is. And they were like, wait, dogs need exercise beyond walks? And I was so happy she said that, because I was like, yes, they do. Because think about it. Walking is obviously great for us, right? It's a low impact activity for us. Any of us can do it and reap lots of health benefits, right? But you can't get stronger arms, core, back, shoulders, legs, anything by just walking, right? Like, obviously you're going to get stronger doing that. But if you really want to build strength, like, you need to do more than that, right? That's canine fitness. And a lot of dogs, all dogs, need it to stay fit and healthy, especially as they get older, because we all know our dogs don't live as long as we do. And being able to keep them strong and prepare them into their older years is only going to benefit them. So canine fitness is one of my favorites. I have tons of cool videos on here, whether they're shorts, long form, my blog. I have a lot. I also have a private Facebook group. It's called Canine Fitness with Caitlin. I'll link that below too if you want to join it. I share really cool things in there. I share about dog sports, fitness ideas, activities, exercises, ideas, all of that stuff. And it's a really, I'm a nerd about this stuff, but it's a really fascinating thing to see what your dog can do, especially if you do have a dog that has a job that does dog sports or anything like that. Like, especially you guys, you really need it, but everyday pets need it too, to keep them strong, to be able to get up into the car, to get on and off the floor. You know what I mean? Little things like that you're like, oh yeah, that, like, my dog does need to stay strong to do that. It all ties together. So that is essentially the 5th type of enrichment, which that kind of wraps it up. Those are all 5. So you guys learned about 5 different types of enrichment for dogs. And now I want you guys to go to my playlist and find some ideas that you think are so cool. Like, I want you to be like, oh, you know, I want to make that DIY snuffle mat. I want to watch my dog forage and find their food because it's really fun. I want to get a puzzle. I want to try it out. I want to maybe make a lick mat, which, fun fact too, with the lick mat, you can also, if say you feed like your dog raw or something like that, lick mats are great for that too. So there's so much you can do with all these ideas and activities and really find the perfect combination for your dog throughout the week and throughout their entire life. So I hope you guys liked this video. If it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I've been talking for too long. I'm done. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you guys have a awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.